Hello, in this project we're going to go over the procedural modeling for a lance and shield that I've been working on this project. And then also we're going to take a look at the PDG, Procedural Dependency Graph, in order to generate multiple variations of the weapon and the shield. Actually, the shield, we don't have that set up yet. We're kind of starting to set that up. But let's go and start taking a look at what I've already set up here. So the final output. So you can see here at the bottom, I've got different models. Some of them are just geocaches, and the other one is an FBX. And then we've got a name tag on the bottom and just a high-res render. So let's see how we set that up first. Actually, if we scroll the timeline here, you can see different models. I set it up so that we can kind of take a look and compare all our outputs and making sure that they all are matching. This is a way to take a look at making sure that all the setup is correct. And we're also gonna have a look at a big sort of image that has all of the different outputs in it. So in here you can see it's a very high res image, and you can see some of the different spheres that it outputted and their index number. So we can also have a look at a sequence of all the different outputs. So the PDG goes through and automatically just outputs all this models, FBXs, caches, and then it renders them. And also then we can combine them into a big context sheet. So let's start at the top. And I've taken some screenshots of the setup, so we can kind of start from there. So in there, this is just a bit of a kit model. You can input different model kits, and I don't know if I've used that, but you can kind of set up the procedural modeling based on that. Let's see. See where I started here. So I guess let's start with this main shape, where this was the first version. And we started at here. Okay, so with a line. So we just set up a line. And then I created a little, what is this here? It's a subnet. This subnet, we go through, we use a BOP. Let's see, what does that do? It's been a while since I actually went into this, but looks like there's a ramp. Okay, there it is. So I created this shape using a ramp node, and then there it is. So that how exactly that works. Let's see. Okay, let's just go through that. Let's not go too deep into each thing because there's a lot to go through here. But then I did a sweep. I fed that into the first input, that into the second input, and then we've got a rough shape. Then I filled it, I guess the caps at the ends. Attribute copy. So I think I did a UV in here. That created a group. So I created a seam there. I think I did it automatically. And it flattens it. These UVs are not very good at all, but let's keep going. Subdivided it to make it smooth. And at the end, it just inverted the normals. And then we've got a rough shape. I'm guessing now I just did a little bit more tweaking. So curve ends. I think I grouped the ends there. yeah, this is a little note that I have to, pretty useful to just have the start and the end of the curve points. So I took the tip, and then this is where I'm copying in this shape, which right now doesn't seem to be okay. There's different versions of it. This one's just a sphere. So this is where I start setting up some of the different versions of the tip. This one just scatters points on the top, on there, and merges it. So here I got different versions, but they're being controlled already. So I mean, unless we take that off, we can go through the different versions. Let's revert that. Right now it's just set up to the first version. And then yeah, this is being controlled, I guess. Yeah, so this is being controlled by the PDG right now. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe we should just generate, let's just go here to the top and let's just generate the different versions, just so we can have a little bit more context. So generate the nodes. Now we got all the different versions. And let's go back in here. Okay, so we should be able to pick one of the versions. So let's go and click one of these. So there we go. So now it changed to that one. So if we click this, we have different variations. We'll go through that after, but let's go back to this. Okay, now we have something there. So in this case, it's just picking that the sphere. Let's pick another one. Okay, I want to have one of the spiky ones. Let's see. Okay, so let's find exactly which different tips. Okay, there are the different tips. And this is being generated randomly, I'm guessing. Let's see, you can check. It's taking a little bit of time. It's generating the ambient occlusion things. So yeah, this is could be a bit slow to process each, because every time you change that, it's processing the entire network again. So that's why I like to cache them and then check them that way. I need to cancel this. Yeah, let's cancel that. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it at one of these. Let's see. Okay, let's just keep that one. And then we'll go back to that. Okay, so yeah, let's get back to there. And then that gets copied over here to the tip. So remember, we got this group at the tip of the curve. We named it already. We named it tip. Then let's see. I'm just I gotta work on this tool because it keeps kind of getting offset. You can lock the images, but, oh no. Lock the navigation, no. Look images, yeah. Okay, they don't get, yeah, okay. See, so what do we do after this? Okay, so we worked on the bottom part. We did some edits to the model. Not sure what that's doing there. Maybe just cleaning up stuff. Okay, so then, yeah, we just extruded some of that piece there, beveled it. And this node is a node I created where it just kind of creates different name attributes and things. It's pretty good for exporting materials and stuff to Unreal. I've usually got it set up over here on the top, and yeah, it just kind of goes like that, and it just creates all the attributes that are needed for export. Right now, so there they are. Takes the name and it just names everything accordingly to the name. I think it's because at this point I exported this before I kind of added more details and stuff. Okay, so then here we're rigging it. So there's a curve. Let's go like this. Let's see. Yeah, we're just naming the different parts of the rig. So I'm just taking the points right there and just giving this line different names. So that's like naming all the bones. And then I sorted it. I kind of inverted the sorting. Then now I converted it to a rig. This picks up all those names that we gave it, and then I reparented the bottom. That way, this is the root. The handle is the root, and then move the pivot. I'm not sure. Okay, so I guess the grid is right there. So I put the root right at the root of the grid, and just clean up again. Now this one just captured all of that, and as you can see, it just picked up all the names, and that's the weights, the skin weights, and then gradient weight. Okay, so this is something where I try to clean up the. So yeah, what I did was I transfer weights. So something that, because this capture proximity, it's not exactly the best. I don't know, it's not the cleanest way to do it, but it's like a fast way to just start rigging something. But I wanted a bit more gradient so that when I extended the spear, it would have a better deformation. So what I did is I took that line that we had, and then see, I shrunk it a little bit, and then created a tube out of it. Pull the wire, and then see, that got attached there, and then captured it again. So now we got a gradient. I added a lot of subdivisions to that, so that way we have a lot of points that are matching these ones, so we can transfer all those weights over. And then if we add a capture paint, we can visualize our new weight transfer, where this one was a lot. Even if I did this, still it's not that good. So this method is works better to transfer the attributes like that. I mean, it could be done other ways, but it's just the way I did it. So in here, we then have this group. We group by bounding region. You can kind of change that. And then that grabs those points, gives it a name, skip tip, and then skip end. I grouped the bottom, and then did an overwrite so that we're overwriting some of the that gradient that we transferred. Now we're overwriting it with the original bones that we have here, and that way we can kind of make sure that the weight's 100% on that. That way that stuff doesn't stretch, those pieces don't stretch. And then I did a little smooth of the bone capture. Those are the skin weights. If you can see them here. Yeah, there they are. and then subdivided it, and now deformed it to make sure that, I guess in here you can kind of stretch the model, and yeah, you can export it however you want like that. But in this case, yeah, I just added I grabbed the original rig and fed it in there. This is the capture, yeah, the capture rig. And then now, yeah, this can be moved from the root, because that was the root, can be stretched, shrinked, and that's our basic rig. And then here it's ready to export. So this is the first version that I exported to Unreal. So we just set up our FBX export, and then I guess we grabbed, yeah, the rig, just same as the deform node. Let's make this a little bigger here. Okay, and there, that's the first version that we exported, but now we started adding more details. So shaft, I renamed it, and we sent it over here to add more pieces to that lance. So in this case, I loaded, okay, from the model kit, I loaded a piece. I loaded the whole kit there actually, and then I split it into different pieces, and then I used it here where I scaled it. Oh, it looks like I clipped some of the pieces on the bottom and then scattered it to the tip. So that's where the tip was. Group from name. So I guess I took the names and then grouped it. Point, target point, okay, tip, and I just filled it up, I think, because I cut that in there. Okay, smooth shape. What did I do? I think I did some processing with VDP. Yeah, I converted it to a VDV and smoothed it a bit, converted it back, and then did a remesh and subdivided it, so we've got a better, kind of like more smooth shape. There it is. And okay, so that's set to null, so I guess the PDG doesn't pick that up. Now let's take a look at another piece. Okay, so yeah, this is a bit of, let's go to that after. Yeah, so in here, I guess there's like a different handle. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, this one. Okay, because we took the kit and split it into this and this. So we created some. We assembled something like that, just copying those points. Okay, and I merged it with a tube we got, okay, from here. Yeah, so we just did a sweep on the tube and got a new handle. I guess in here could take a screenshot of this. Let's see. Yeah, we could take a screenshot of that. There. Did it go? Oh, it's right there. Oh, I don't like that one because it's got the grid in there. Let's do it again. Okay. And there it is. So we can, yeah, we can see this new handle is different. This should be separated. It's a bit confusing because this other one is right next to it. But oh, actually this goes here. Yeah. And then now let's take a look at this shield piece. We started with cylinder, and then we made a meta ball. Put the meta ball right there, and then just deforms it like that. Boolean sum of those pieces by C. Okay, I made a line, matched it to the bottom of the grid. Oh, centered it. And then copied those cylinders there. And then now I just did a Boolean and remeshed it. There we go. It just cleans the geo, extruded it out. Did another extrude on the side, so we have a better geometry there for subdivision. Extruded it up, and then just did a smooth. Okay, subdivided it, and we added some bolts there. So okay, that grouped edge bolts. Okay, so we went into a subnet here where I grabbed the border. Let's doing this on shared edges, and then curve from edge, resample. Did a transform up, normal, copy to point. So I took some spheres and put them there, clipped them first, and then there we go, we scattered them around that border edge. Okay, that's this final piece. I did a little cache on that, just because the remeshing is kind of slow to do. So to avoid processing the remeshing again, it's better to cache it. This was I guess I didn't Boolean this one. I took this. Okay, I did do something where, okay, I just took, okay, Boolean it differently. Okay, and then converted to volume, and it did the remesh and poly reduce, cleaned up, and there. Now we have two versions. We got this one and this one. So see this here, these are some of the variables that I'm controlling. I converted this to an HDA and then I put it into the PDG. But let's try to skip a bit more to those PDG setups. Okay, so now we have that piece, and then we got the tip, and now we can start doing some PDG setups. Let's see. Let's match this. This keeps moving around. Okay. Yeah, there's a handle set up there. Okay. What's over here? And then, oh, these are veins. So let's take a look at this. So we took that basic shape and remeshed it, and took the end from, see, okay, so there's a, grab the tip end there with the volume. So then did a shortest path, and that created those veins from the end to the tip. So I guess that, yeah, the tip is here. Same thing. Just copied a sphere to the rig, and then used those shapes to group like that. And then I did the find shortest, and then I sort of projected it back onto that surface, converted the lines, run a tube through it, and I think I cleaned this up also, because see that the geo is not very good there. So it's a bit messy. Yeah, let's see how I clean that up. Okay, so it is clean. I just need, I think I converted the lines. Go from edge. Okay, so I guess they are, the curves are cleaned. Alright, so I just took those veins and put them here. It's different versions. Okay. And then, yeah, let's go over to the rest of the setup. Here there's different versions to pick different vein types. And here we've got nothing. And then there's another type which is kind of this pattern, and that was created in this subnet. So it took just the shape, basic shape, and then here there's a scatter node, and I split it on half, clipped it on half. Oh, see, sure where the points went here. Did they? There should be points there. Okay, so looks like that clip is very far, not in the center. But let's see what it actually outputs, because that's strange. Maybe there's something with the PDG. No. Okay, looks like it changed. So, because we had it, we looked at it earlier. Let's see if I just broke something when I did an undo. Oh, I think I might have moved it. Clicked on the viewport. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I moved it when I clicked here on the viewport. So just be careful with that node. Okay. Well, let's get out of here then. I'm not sure why the veins are gone now. just undo this, see if we get them back. Okay, now then let's change. Let's go here and change the different version. It looks like it's bugging out or something. Okay, let's try to. That's weird. Not sure why that's not working. Oh, we're in manual mode. Let's put it to auto again. Oh, okay, so it was just not updating. Let's see. I think I just moved the clip. Yeah, it was centered and then I moved it. Okay, so let's get back to that. Yep. I clip the points and then this node will create different connections between the points. And just transferring their normals, so we can then later attach spikes on those points. Did a smooth on that, and then mirror. So now we have both on each side. Run a polytubes on that, and then yeah, copied all the little spikes onto the ends and combined it all. That's what we needed, the normals. Yeah, now we're turning it to VDV, converted it to a mesh, did a mask, so we got a better gradient for coloring, and just optimized it here with the poly reduce, and give it a name. So yep, that's that subnet. And then finally let's go through the rigging. So did another rig because we added a bunch of details. So now there's some new pieces that we gotta rig again. And oh, this lost its variable there. Let's bring it back. Okay, let's go veins. All right, so then here's the more of a more complex rig, because now we've got a bunch of pieces that we gotta rig again, and then there's a see. Okay, put it on manual. So again, we clip this piece on the top, we group it, and then take the rig again, just the line, and start naming it again. In this case, see if I moved it. Yeah, I just moved the tip there. Nope, this is nothing. Okay, tip, handle, and end. And then I just dissolved those lines. I added, I guess, more points to that rig. So, okay, so yeah, this is the original. And then I added another point there, and then another one on the bottom called guard. Combine all the points. Just removed any lines. This is now how I combine them by group. And I dissolved the edge at the bottom. Now converted it to a rig and reparented the bottom there again, so that we have the root here. And then it did the same trick where I create the, let's see, what is this showing? Okay. Yep. So I took the bone, did a poly wire again, capture that, and poly split it. Then did the transfer. Now we got this spear with the weights transferred. You can visualize them again, like that. Okay, now we've got all this rigged again, but before that we rigged it with the capture proximity. But as you can see, this is very rough skinning. There's no gradient or anything. So before we rigged it, we just moved that tip. That's why I grouped the tip, so that I could translate it with the soft transform. So yeah, I just did a soft transform. I guess I just wanted to skin it with the spear a little bit shorter. And there's their preview. We've got all these controls here. That's the root. And okay, I guess I'm not using that. Then yeah, we just moved it over. See what this is doing. Some additional overwrites, I think. Yeah. Right, so this is gonna overwrite some of those after the transferring the gradient. It's doing some overwrites. See, okay. And then see what there's some blending here. Okay, so that's just to automate the two different sizes. So this one just blends between the two rigs. This is the original, and yeah, it just blends between the two rigs. And then after the deformation, just transfer the weights again, so that when we export it, it has the weights in it again. I think that's for something else, but anyways, this is the export node, and that's gonna be, yeah, that's it. So then now we're ready to do the PDG, and for that it's pretty straightforward. So before we do PDG, we just take this subnet where our spear is, and we just convert it to a digital asset, and then from there we have the edit parameters, And here we can start creating all these parameters. And then in here we have our settings. So this is matching the parameters that are set here. So essentially just create a HDA. And then from here, then we can tie all these parameters to our PDG. So see where that, so anyways, just create that HDA. And then when we go to PDG, we start creating a wedge. So let's create a wedge and start giving it the parameters. So in this case we have the target parameter, so we can take this see, let's put a shortcut here, just take the HDA and copy the parameter and then put it into here, or you could just give it the path to a parameter and the name. And then there's an attribute also that we're creating, the type, and then here you can set range. This one is the shield type of thing. This one is mirror or not mirror. Let's see. So in this case, mirrors. Mirrors one of the pieces. Template scale, the sets. So there's different scales, 1 to 3, and then it just randomly goes through each. Selects one of the different preset scales, and here it just goes through randomly picking different tips. Okay, and here's the path, and there's a bunch of them that are set up. You can see that's it. And then the index, wedge export index. So this is just something, group wedge. I don't think we need this necessarily, but then now we have the FBX ROP export, and this is tied to one of the nodes in the lens. So we go here, there's an FBX export at the bottom. Let's see. It's laggy. Okay. Let's close this. This one right there. I put the wedge index, so this will grab the PDG's wedge index, and then it will save it when it goes through each index. So, and then here we have it like this. This is just for what it worked for me. There's different ways to set it up, but this is the way that I got it to work. And then the geometry output, I put the money PDG index, and that's the attribute that will export. And then here, same thing. This is the mantra, so this will render everything. And then in this one, it will will export it will add the name of the of the index into an image. So we'll render the render with the tag of the image in text. And then here I just did a mosaic. So I took the sequence that it exports, and then if we go to composition view, just creates a mosaic. See, it's calculating. And now we have all those index numbers on our render, and we can just export it out. There we go. So to cook that, by the way, we just go here, and then we just go cook node, and we'll start cooking everything. I don't really want to do that right now, but because I don't want to overwrite all those files, but essentially I would just go through and start cooking everything here. Okay, let's just do it. Yeah, I guess these are already cooked, so it's already, this one is putting the names on the stuff. But yeah, if you didn't have this already rendered, it will, you go through. Okay, there is a camera we can set up. So in this case, I just set up the count 5, which is this one. There. And then, yeah, at the end, to verify everything, I took the saved files and load them in and give it, this is the index number. So now let's set up, this is the FBX. Oh no, that's the geo, and then this is the FBX. So import the FBX, which are FBX character import, and then deform it. Don't think we need to, but yeah, this is an FBX that exported, and now we can just adjust it and put it on the grid. And yeah, we have all the different versions here, and this is the image sequence. So I just took a grid and I put a quick shader on it, and then on the shader I put the image sequence, and just clipped it a little bit, and yeah, now we can see our different versions. And all our FBXs are exported right here and ready to import into any other software. So that's the setup. Okay, and then the last thing, let's have a quick look at the shield. This one is another procedural model. Did it pretty quick. So started with a cylinder, UV unwrap, subdivided, then did an extrude. First I polyfilled it. Okay, no, this is, okay, I grabbed the bottom surface with this normal, and then removed it, subdivided everything, polyfilled the bottom, made sure I put the patch group, and then now we have that patch on the bottom. Then I extruded that patch out, and then did an inset on the bottom and extruded it in. I guess it's like the back side of it, and yeah, now named it, took the edge, so from this, so I took the part that I deleted, I actually split it here and grabbed the border edges, so there, border edges, and then converted the edges to a polyline, transferred, see, it's not doing anything, yeah, doing anything, oh. And then took these little spikes, I just took a cylinder, polyfilled, extruded it out, UV'd it. This unwrapped cylinder is pretty good for cylinders. Flattened it, and then just for optimization, I just removed the bottom, and then yeah, just copied it. I think actually for this is the transfer actually. It was the normals. I took the normals from this piece, and then I copied it over, transferred it to this. That way we have the normals pointing outwards, so they can be copied properly. If we don't have that, then it just kind of points that way. Named it again. Now merged it all together. Flatten our normals. Lay it out, the UVs, and then now I had this model from another project. It's kind of like a logo, and in here we projected this with, so I packed it. That gives us 1 point. It puts everything into one single point. That way I can transform everything, and I copied it to, let's see, well, this is part of the rig. So I started creating a rig here, which is just one line, and then again I named it root and tip, converted to rig skeleton. It's just a transform, and then I took the root and copied a new line in there. Not sure why. Let's see. Okay, so this is the direction that's going to be projected, or okay, unpacked. Okay, unpack that. Not sure. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why it's the unpack notice there, but project. So this will project onto a surface. So I took the shield, and yeah, I guess that grid that we have, it's so that it's used as a deformer. So in here there's a split node that will take the, yeah, this will project. So in here we got our shield, our surface, then this will project the grid, and then this just pushes it out a bit or something, and then our deform node will deform the logo. And here we have the rest points, and then here we have the deformed projected points, and then that will deform the model with the grid. That's why they're together. But yeah, that's like a way to project and deform models. And then just for optimization, remeshed it, and then booleaned the logo onto the shield. So I guess I made a couple of different versions here. In this one I converted it to a VDV, both of them, and then just did a combine instead of Boolean. This kind of gives a different sort of, I took those points at the end and it created a different kind of shape for them. Converted it to a mesh again. Did a mask. And then, yeah, remeshed everything. Takes a while here. Okay, and now it's a lot more clean. Did a little stash there, fully reduced because the back was very heavy. It's unnecessary, and then did another version here just to see which one's better. But now we have this. We got 3 different versions, and then okay, this one I just clipped the bottom of it using the shield. I booleaned it and split the bottom, and I guess I used that bottom piece to do a poly wire. Converted, yeah, grabbed the edge border using this, and then took that group and did a poly wire, and then the UVs are laid out. Named it trim group. Now we have a bit of a trim around that, but this was a different version of the shield. Now we got our spikes from before, and then I combine it into this. So I put them all together, and now we have the mask on that again, and that's it. That's the shield. So before exporting, I just did some attributes for the materials, and then for rig I took the 2 lines from before and did a capture proximity. So that's the skinning, and then I just did an override on everything with the root. So everything is being captured by the root. This is just an extra joint. This one, if I don't do the override, then this will have an effect. So that's why I did the override. I just wanted to have a little extra joint for attaching things or something. And then the node that I usually put before exporting to Unreal, that creates all our attributes, and that's it. That's ready for export. And then here's our FBX loaded, and where our bones are there. What's this? Okay, well, that's an older FBX. Yeah, that's gonna be the shear model. All right, so that's gonna be it.